You see, people will have you somewhere giving other people credit where credit is not due. When people do things for you, you don't know what their intention is. You don't know if they like you or not. You don't know if they're doing something for you out of obligation because they're worried about how outsiders are going to look at them if they don't. And what God desires to do, I believe, is remove the veil of deception from over your eyes. There are those of you out there, you have people in your bloodline that have never cared anything about you, yet you were taught to respect a devil. You were taught to respect folk that did not deserve it. Now, I understand the whole concept if it were your parents. And I understand the whole obedience as it pertains to what God has commanded. I'm not speaking against any of that. But this is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about for those of you that were taught and trained, and to seeing certain folks in a light that they were not standing in. Because people can show you what they think of you far better and greater than what they could ever tell you. I believe there are those of you out there, you've had people at your weddings that could not stand your guts, but because they were in your bloodline, you did not feel right by not inviting them. Or perhaps you didn't know how they really and truly felt about you, because a lot of you sisters have probably walked down the aisle with men that your cousins wanted and were sitting at the wedding watching. A lot of you fellas have probably stood at the altar waiting on your beautiful bride, not even knowing that your best friend, me, wanted your woman. If he ain't already had them. Now wait a minute. So what am I talking about? You need to be careful who you allow at your house. I remember a time when people, dudes in particular, would visit their boys on the regular. And what their boys may not have known is that the dudes that they thought were their best friends, or as I believe they used to say back in the day, a spoon coat, okay, was sleeping with their woman, or wanted to. And I know people don't really get around like that today, but you know, back in the day, dudes would get together, and they would drive, and they would go to the malls, I believe, different places, and try to scope women. They were looking for women, because back in the day, I mean, I do believe that the fellas, they like the ladies. And they like the hoes too, so we gonna throw everybody all in the same bucket, because everybody don't belong in the same bucket. You got your ladies and you got your hoes. But then most likely they were looking for hoes. And perhaps some of the chicks they were dating carried themselves as ladies. I don't know. There was a mixture. But this is what I'm saying, y'all. Everything ain't always what it seems behind the scenes, because people are deceptive. A lot of them. What you are born into a lot of times is an illusion. You got folks standing up in your face demanding respect that don't deserve respect. Whether if it be somebody in your bloodline, somebody that you hang with, somebody in your friend group, or whatever. Somebody that you're married to, somebody that you're dating.